Yes, everybody, and welcome all of you back to Newcastle City Centre and to what is pretty much going to be like season's greetings, as you will, because whilst I am here, I've got just that little bit of extra Christmas shopping to do, and also I needed to do some clothes shopping as well whilst I'm here. And yeah, whilst we're here, we may as well take a look at the Christmas setup as well, because it's currently December the 23rd. And it'll probably be once again for the last time this year, but I'll be able to check this out. So, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's take a look, shall we? Yeah, we'll take the long way round, because I'm sure there's like squirrels and all that now start hiding up those trees. In fact, they've even I know those are like bird nests up there, but you do see quite a lot more squirrels and stuff like that. You know, I would have suspected, you know, the village would have been great if they didn't have this corrugated iron fencing and all that. It's literally been here since 3 years now that's just been up there, and it just looks awful for the world to see. So anyway, let's once again take a look down Grey Street and see what we get. It's not even especially that cold even for December, but it's just how it is. Right, off we go.
By the way, I'm just going to let you know after.
Anyway, let's make our way back to Grey Street. Okay, so now we head back up into Monument, and it must be said, actually, funny story, the last time I was here, and oh yeah, that's right, I completely forgot. Yeah, really is meant to be the last day, so let's take a look around for the end for yet another year. 15th of November, I thought that said 15th of November for 1 second, but as you can start to see right now, yeah, some of them are already starting to like shut up shop again, because I think it's just the end of another year. Anyway, let's go. See, already starting to like cover these up. Yeah, they don't even they're not even pretending that these things are gonna be kept around here anymore. Mind you, with that being said, some of the food stores around here are like what I can only best describe as very, very average at best. Still, in fairness, always a nice little setup anyway. Big river. I could do with a nice warm hat, actually. Gives you the sort of ideas about the sort of things you could be, you could tuck into about this time next year. Can't ever say I've ever had mulled wine before, but is mulled wine any good? You tell me. Spirits and ales. How easy would it be to actually make your own ale?
Pardon?
How easy would it be to actually make your own ale? Easy.
Really easy.
Not too sure where I was going with that, but you never know, I never thought to ask. Nice. Anyway, let's head down again. Tell you what, let's actually have a little Let's have a little walk round. We might actually make our way to Central Station. Yeah, just to try something different, just to explore a little bit more of the city. Budgeting fencing must be completely through the roof. You can't even sit down in the middle of the street without fencing being pulled off. That's disgusting, that is. This. Anyway, off we go. You know, they call it Start Fitness, but it's literally just a bike shop. Why not just say bike shop then? So yes, whilst we do have this time alone, I feel like I should actually, I'll tell you what, I'll say it a little bit later, because it sort of, again, more goes off into plans of things I just want to be able to do for next year, like affording a proper DJI camera and stuff like that. Of course, big markets, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek down at Big Market, because even in the daytime, all things considered, it's just rudimentary, quiet, and it's not too bad actually during the daytime. Right, off we go. Though I do think like the better days to come out doing walks is probably at the very end of spring, so at about like maybe 13 weeks time, where it starts to get warmer again. That's where you want to be. Yeah, actually that looks new. Stuff like that. Never thought to actually see what if they've got plastered and all that in the windows, but oh well, never mind. it's more based on belief, some of these traffic lights. But still, you just gotta, again, you gotta keep your wits about you, even in the city centre. And let's go. Thankfully, the traffic only really comes in one direction anyway, so you've only got like one place to look. But then again, sometimes even people get that wrong. I don't know how, but people will find a way. Have you met her? And of course, even Central Station is not necessarily excluded from having Christmas stalls and whatever naff bar is open at the time. Actually, it's funny enough, we've actually come down this way because I heard that Greg's has their very first pub somewhere around here. So let's take a look at it. I think it's called the Golden Flake, if memory serves me well. I've never been in that myself, but let's take a look. A look forward, I should say. This morning. Might be actually up Pink Lane, so let's nah, actually no, probably let's continue walking around. Of course, over in the distance you got the Centre for Life, a very popular science and discovery museum. I'm sure there's like another museum round the back of here somewhere. Can't quite remember on the back of my head what it is, but nah, nothing. Never seen that prohibition down there before. Mind you, being tucked so far away, it looks quiet. Yeah, surprisingly, I thought I'd be able to find the Golden Flake somewhere around here. Let's keep a lookout. Beat Down Records. I knew that was still around here somewhere. I used to buy me records down there. Well, CDs. You don't even really call them CDs. You just call them downloads and all that. But of course, nobody's going to call them downloads. That's just the world gone topsy-turvy. Maybe if we cut through. Yeah, I'm a little bit stumped just to try and work out where I'm meant to go. So let's not stop. Let's keep going. You know, for the first to Greg's pub and all that, you would have thought it would have been much easier to find. Again, maybe I'm just completely barking up the wrong tree. Let's wait and see. There was police inside the salon we just passed. Oh dear. Anyway, let's okay, so you got the Time Theatre just sort of down there. The NX just down there. Let's cross the street and keep going. Okay, so we're back on Clayton Street and back there in the NX. I can't remember if it was called the NX or the O2 back in the day. It was coming up to 10 years ago was when I held my, where we had me end of year night out when I was just finishing school. Nice gig inside anyway. Be awesome to go back again. Never really been like a clubby sort of person, but oh well, when there's a cause for celebration. Mind you, that being said, whenever there has to be things to celebrate, I never really would go down clubbing, but I know, certainly not on my own. It depends who you're going with, I suppose. Breadpoint. Yeah, also, if you could possibly tell, I've kind of given up my search for the golden flake. Which is strange and bizarre, because I know it's like round Central Station way, and mind you, that being said, this is new. Electric charging points. And honestly, even by this time next year, I reckon we're going to be seeing even more charging points, and oh well, it's just the way of the world and all that. More charging points, and probably more probably every street will be a double yellow line before we get every charging point set up. Mind you, that being said, food around here is actually starting to smell really nice, because you've got a lot of a Thai and a Vietnamese cafe literally side by side. I think you've also got a shawarma and grill just a few streets down. So like an Indian style cafe as well, Botany Boot. Chinese supermarket on the other side of the street. A lot of good stuff and all that. Anyway, let's continue going to the top of Clayton Street. I think if one thing is proving to be completely obvious, even by this point, it's just quiet. You see, I would have thought, I was under the impression that even on the 23rd, there would be a manic dash for things like, you know, late Christmas shopping and people just sort of getting any old tat that is on the window and displayed for literally like £5. Like, they could be displayed as, we do not know what they are, but they're everywhere, and people would still have the nick to buy it. I don't even think you can even get a decent haircut for £5. Oh well. Right, so you join me about an hour later, and we're sort of stuck at the bottom of Northumberland Street. I was a little bit skeptical about the thought of, well, is the city dying even on quite a busy shopping day like the 23rd of December? However, as you can see behind, the queue for just to get up Northumberland Street is proving busier than ever. It's also because the FedEx window is sort of at the end of its time, if you will, and we'll take a little branch around and we'll see what happens. You never know, guys, there might be something in it. So yeah, as you can see right there, Northumberland Street is just activity. So let's go. It's now the reason why they also call it the reason why they call it Northumberland Street is because back in at least the early 1980s, this technically was a road, and it was basically two-way traffic, if you will. And it's long since been pedestrianised in years gone by. But of course, you get the famous FedEx windows, just outside FedEx windows. Just imagine it's Bond Street and whatever else. Just close your eyes and think of England. I suppose it makes sense. And hello. And of course, there were plenty of like market stalls up and down Northumberland Street. I've never bought from anything like myself, because one time when I tried to like buy an iPod charger cable, and a guy literally bent double, so he was like inches away from my face, and he said as like a pitch,
ladies, free one there,
that this was what do they call it? Yeah, it helps the environment.
as well. Last day of the promotion.
You know, I would have thought it would be a little bit more interesting. Final day for sales, they say. We'll see about that. He said that this time last Thursday. And yet, despite nearly 3 years going by, the council still feel at liberty to just put up the odd planks of wood, put up the odd grating. How is this still not finished after nearly 3 years? I know the idea is that they're working up the street, but it just seems all systematic, because why is this not even... What in the hell was that? Fortunately, it's a little bit more open out, so you just sort of like, hello. And of course, they just play any old tat in JD Sports. Still have to remind myself that I've got to get some clothes, like new underwear and whatnot. Oh, and of course, just as you're getting to Eldon Square, look at that, guys. 2 days until the big sleep. Only 9 days to go until the new year. Yeah, think about that, guys. And you see, I don't even think this has even been touched since the last time I came to Northumberland Street.
Have you stopped it?
A month and a half ago. Anyway, let's keep rocking. Let's see, once again, here, just untouched and starting to form a puddle more than anything else in the middle. What exactly they're doing to repair it or complete it, I suppose is the better way to use. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, up we go.
So we'll have to go and find the bird.
Who knows? Maybe this is where it all takes place. Just stick any old equipment down here. It looks about as unfinished as everything else. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. May seem a little bit unceremonious, even at this stage of proceedings, but you know what? It does seem as if, like, for better or worse, Northumberland Street is once again thriving, and it's as... part of me actually wonders whether or not it's as anywhere near as busy as this if it wasn't so congested because you had all this going on. If it wasn't going on, the place would look tremendously more sparse. But this is how it is. Hello. Anyway, never mind. That's just how it is. So, yeah, honestly, it does seem just quiet and sparse. But does that mean the city is dying? I don't think so. But for the first time, I'm beginning to see Newcastle in a sort of in a grimmier light. Even here isn't exactly unhit by depression and repression. Hello. Isn't hit by, you know, whatever. I can't really think straight, so I think I'll just about call it there. Hello. Don't worry, the camera's on me, lady. So I think that's just about all I've got to say for that, and I will see all of you guys again, hopefully before the big sleep. So Merry Christmas for now.